All right, guys, I'm going to test out the audio settings here going into Camtasia. I have the Rode Wireless Go connected, and it doesn't look like it is distorting or peaking, but I won't really know. Based on what I'm seeing on the meter, I'm still in the green, so I guess that's a good thing. So we're just going to open an image. And what do we want here? Let's just pick this image. Let's take a look at this really quick. This was captured at Fashion Week here in Houston. And as you can see here, there are a lot of brown tones, warm light. That's pretty much what was going on in this arena. It was very, very warm in the arena. So there's continuous lighting that was very, very harsh. So if you notice around the neck area here, there's some hard shadows, which is coming from her dress. And really, there's not a lot of ways to avoid that. You know, fashion is always going to be about fashion. So it's one of those, what you see is what you get. Now, as I look back on this image and I think to myself, you know, what could I have done differently? If I look at the info on this specific image, this was captured at a focal length of 120 millimeters, and I had it set at 2.8, f2.8, an ISO of 400, which is very low, as well as a shutter speed of 1/250 of a second. I think this would have benefited me more to have shot this probably somewhere between 8 and 1600. That way I would have gotten a little bit more light control. But because these were shot in RAW, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I shot these with the D700. Let's take a look real quick here. Yes, this was with the D700, and this was with the really old Nikon lens, the Nikkor 80-200 2.8 ED. So that was a beast of a lens. I mean, it was heavy, and you know, it was just crazy large lens to work with. But you know, it gets the job done. You know, I mean, I look at the lenses that we use today in comparison, which is just it's phenomenal how small and compact these lenses have become versus what we were working with just, you know, a decade ago. But that's where we sit, guys. So this is a lovely image, you know. So I mean, there's very little I would do other than what I've already done here. You know, yeah, you can always go in and, you know, modify the image and, you know, clean up some things and do some liquefying and whatever all that kind of cool stuff is. But this is not a fashion campaign. This was an actual fashion show on a runway. So it's, again, as long as you can get really good images that are, you know, fairly sharp, and all the details can be made out. You know, as you can see here, you can see all the way into her eyes. You can see the color of her eyes. You're seeing shadowing here underneath her eyes from her eyebrows because, I mean, from her eyelashes, because literally the light was that harsh, you know, overhead. So it is what it is. So, you know, those are things that you want to take into consideration if you're thinking about working in the fashion industry, especially if you're going to be doing covering fashion events. You know, you really want to consider your lens choices, your ISO settings, your f-stop, things like that. You know, think about this like sports photography. If you were shooting that under really harsh lights at a football game or a basketball or baseball game, you know, that's the key. Just get sharp images that are not out of focus. As you can see here, her hand is slightly out of focus from movement, and that was due to, you know, the shutter speed that I had this set at. So, you know, learning from those mistakes is the key. A lot of times what I do is I go back and I look at a lot of my old images and I analyze them to see where I could have done better. So hopefully this little snippet look into my workflow will help you guys out to prepare for projects that you may have coming up in the future. And if so, I've done my job. So this has been Rome. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace. I'm out.